Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Flagrant Talk Sports Podcast. It's me, Isaiah, here with my favorite co-host, Mr. Moses Famino.
What's going on, everybody?
And today is a big video. NBA Finals. It's finally here. We've been waiting. We've been excited. We've been making predictions. But it's also exciting for one other reason, and we'll kick it off right away. Moses and I have been doing the pod now for a year. Crazy, first
Insane.
off. And really, we just wanted to give a big thank you. If you've tuned in once for one video, we say thank you. If you tuned in for multiple, thank you. No matter what, you subscribe, you found us through March Madness, you found us through an NFL video, whatever it may be. Even if you don't agree with all of our takes, which you shouldn't,
Yep.
we appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. This is really the start, and Moses and I are excited to see how we continue to grow now that we've got a year of this under our belt, and we feel a little more confident in what we're doing. Yeah, thank you.
100% going off of what Zay said. Thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. We can't say it enough. The support throughout this year of just growth and awesomeness and whirlwinds and unexpecteds and it was just everything, every emotion.
Yeah.
It was great. We thank you for joining us. If you're new, if you've been here since the start, we love you all the same. We appreciate it. And like they said, we're excited to keep going. Only the beginning.
Yeah.
And
it is,
excited
man.
to see what's next. So yeah.
Absolutely. We feel great, and seriously, if you've ever left a comment, a like, or a video is done well, Moses and I not only notice, but we talk about it. Like, we really are thankful for all of you. We don't just say it. So getting that out of the way, we appreciate you guys. We hope you continue to tune in through all of the rest of our videos. We're gonna have some cool stuff coming up in the near future, but let's get into this, Mo. Let's give the people what they want. The NBA Finals are here. The Boston Celtics really dominating the Eastern Conference, 12-2 in their postseason so far. Lots of rest, which they've needed, having Porzingis banged up. And the Dallas Mavericks out of the Western Conference. First and foremost, just gotta give it a little clap, man. Congrats. That's amazing for Luka. It's great, obviously, for Kyrie to make it, kind of get the LeBron, Robin persona that some people still associate him with off of his back. It's just been awesome watching this Mavs team all season. And the proof is in the pudding, man. They made it all the way to the finals for the first time since I remember being in 5th grade with Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Kidd, Jason Terry, Sean Marion, Tyson Chandler. Like, that finals is very formative in my head. So to be back and Adam in this fashion is amazing for Dallas.
100%. And got to own up to my wrongdoing. I think you also joined me in this. We said the winner of the Nuggets Timberwolves series was coming out of the West.
Just dead wrong.
Dead wrong. Luka and the Mavs have been unbelievable.
Seriously.
I'm giving you your flowers as well because you called it at the trade deadline. I like the moves as well, but you were very into the moves and saw a vision. I don't think happening this quickly, but you liked the moves. Thought this is something I could build. Maybe off season get something else, but they skipped all that. They're in the finals, so
it's
man.
Amazing, and the thing Moses is referencing is at the trade deadline, the Mavs taking the swing and on the same day trading with the Hornets for PJ Washington and then making a trade with the Wizards for Daniel Gafford.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about biggest winners this season period, it's probably those two, to go from the Wizards and Hornets to the NBA Finals. Tyler Hero was making jokes about it on PJ's Instagram Live, but seriously, to go from bottom feeders of the league to key players, very, very pivotal players on a Dallas team that is rocking and rolling. And
Yep.
I had said in the vid at the time, like, this is the first time I can truly remember the Mavs having a true big man rotation with those two and Derek Lively, who we'll get to in a bit. He's just been special.
Yeah.
But it's the first time they've had that in a decade, probably since they were in the finals, like
Yep.
genuinely last time.
Mhm.
It's why you take that big swing. You showed Luca, hey, we're serious, and proof is in the pudding when you give a guy like Luca those weapons to play with.
Leading the NBA playoffs, the Mavs are in lobs by a large margin.
Yeah,
It's like a lob city, but it's beautiful, man. It's been
it is.
beautiful basketball. Starting with the Mavs
Mm-hmm.
for a little bit of my analysis.
Yeah.
Luca, this has been a common talked about stat, but
Mm-hmm.
averaging over 34 points per game after a loss. So this series going deep. I'll tell you that. Surprise,
Mm-hmm.
surprise. He's looking to become the first scoring champion since Shaq in 2000 to win a ring.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. And
Mhm.
I think too, staying on Luca, one of the biggest, if not the biggest critique with him, and I've been critical, almost everyone's been critical, and I think the people who have been, at least partly, are justified in it, were, hey, the one thing, because offensively, he's a juggernaut, can score all 4 levels. I mean, at
Yep.
this point, the half court line is like with Curry, he can knock it down consistently. You
Mhm.
have to blitz him. You have to guard him from the moment he hits that half court line.
Yeah.
But defensively, just kind of there's some times in the regular season where it feels like he kind of goes through the motions. And it's not that he's the worst defender in the league, but when you look at superstars, you're hypercritical. You're like, man, that's on you though on defense a little bit. Like
Yeah.
you get more of the praise, so you get more of the hate. It comes with being gifted.
Yep.
Um, and I think with Luca that he has been in really, really solid, right? Like
Mhm.
he hasn't been this elite defender, but he has been really good, really, and it helps every player on the court knowing, okay, our best player will be fine. They're not going to
Him and
headhunt him.
Kyrie as well a little bit.
And Kyrie,
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. I think he genuinely is the best star small defensive guard in ball because you think about a Damian Lillard, I think Kyrie is a better defender than Dame.
Yeah.
And I think that is a big part for all of their defensive success. They've been the best since the deadline, really.
Yeah.
In all of ball, it was them and the Timberwolves. And so now it's in playoff, their playoff success in large part is due to that defense. And
For sure.
that's just another tool that makes them deadly.
It makes sense for Luca and Kyrie to be good defenders because of their athleticism and builds. You
Mhm.
know, Luca is a 6'7", sturdy built
Big body.
guy. On offense, he's getting anywhere he wants. On defense, he should be
Mhm.
able to control his own, do the same. And Kyrie, obviously, offensively, one of the
Yeah.
most floaty, athletic players we've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's got to translate on the defensive end as well, and they've been doing it in the playoffs. So it's a very surprising but needed thing that
Yes.
has gotten them here. So
Yeah, and it was one of the things for me, I think, going into this that while we credited Dallas's defense going into the postseason in our vid too, I was still skeptical, and I think it's why we both had them in the conference finals. We were,
yeah,
bolder on them than a lot of people,
yeah,
but the thing that kind of kept me from going to this level was the defense of their guard play.
mm-hmm,
If I would have known it would have been this solid, maybe I would have felt a little more confident, but
yeah,
regardless, Kyrie and Luca have been an incredible duo.
mm-hmm,
This is why you take those big swings if you're Mark Cuban, if you're a franchise to say, "Hey, we know Kyrie's history. We know he gets disgruntled. We know it's a part of him. It's
Yep.
who he is as a person. It's who he is as a ball player. Very gifted, but it's a part of his package is okay. He might be an issue from time to time. That
Not
has
recently. Yeah.
not been the case in Dallas at
Yeah.
all. Like,
Mhm.
genuinely no issues, and that's massive because no one has ever criticized Kyrie for his ability. Everyone
Yeah.
knows that he is the most gifted ball handler ever
Yeah.
and a 20 to 25 point per game bucket and leader and champion. Like, all of those things are true, but it was the skepticism took a big swing and it paid off, and it
Yeah.
took a big swing with their big men and paid off, and now you're
Mhm.
seeing the fruits of the labor that they've built as an organization because of it.
100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see what Kyrie said? Just it was like a little bit before we got on.
No.
I just saw it. He said, they asked him about Boston and his time there, and he was like,
Mhm.
like, I don't think that was a good reflection of who I really am. Like, and I'm kind of starting to believe, like, obviously, like,
Yeah.
probably is like you're maturing, you're a young guy in the NBA,
Mhm.
lots of money, you got a big head, you're getting fed all the time. But
Yes.
I feel like I need to maybe see the clip and see how he said it and see how it was brought
Yeah.
up. But just reading it, and how he's been acting with the Mavericks, I kind of believe him. So
I do too, and I
yeah,
think that's the thing is every athlete, and I remember this for good better or worse, is a human first.
yeah,
And I think that's why, just going into the philosophy I have when we talk about sports or when I talk about sports alone or whoever,
yep,
I want to be I am player first because I recognize you're a human, you make mistakes. If all my mistakes in my life were amplified to millions,
yep,
put on ESPN every day, put on Fox Sports, put on all these talking heads are constantly picking apart every little aspect of me. Jason
yep.
Tatum didn't look happy enough when Jalen Brown won conference finals MVP. Are you serious?
We're just finding things to talk about
It
because we're bored. We're
It
just
it's not basketball discourse. That is
yeah,
not sports discourse. Go take your ass to E! News.
that's
Go
drama. Yeah, that's so
it's drama. Like, I'm dead serious, bro. When
that's
I see that, it's an immediate, "Oh, turn that off." I'm
that's
not listening.
fine.
That it's true. I'm
E
not gonna
news.
listen to you like, "Oh, man, well, he didn't clap loud enough." He's Dude, are you kidding me? You can critique if you're critical of Tatum and it's like, "Hey, he yelled at his player here. I don't think that's right." All right, that's fine. We can have that discussion.
Yeah,
I will not talk to you about Tatum or any
it's
player.
so ridiculous.
It could have been Derek Lively. Oh, he didn't clap loud enough. Dude, come on. Let's
Yeah, let's
let's
be
be
realistic
real.
here. But
Um, but yeah, it's just ridiculous. Luca, quick playoff stats: 28.8 points, 9.6 boards, 8.8 dimes. For
mhm,
Kyrie, 22.8 points, 3.9 boards, 5.2 assists. This man, Kyrie, has put up over 30 in two of his last three playoff games. He has been incredible. Both sides of the ball as a
mhm,
facilitator, just special and playing with a fire when he's out there
yeah,
on the court. He's playing like he has something to prove, like
mhm.
the moment he's out there. And I promise you, against Boston, he's going to be playing like that too. Um,
100%, 100%.
yeah.
He's also shooting, I didn't know if you had this,
No, go ahead.
48.5% from the field and
Mhm.
42% from 3.
Yeah.
Out of the 4 superstars, that
Mhm.
is the highest by
Yeah.
a considerable amount. He's been shooting the ball really well, so
Yeah. It's been very good. I mean, was skeptical of the Mavs taking a swing on Kyrie, kind of with the way
mhm,
Brooklyn ended
mhm,
and the way things played out for him previously in Boston. It just kind of felt like I don't know if this is the swing you want to do.
yeah,
I will eat cake. and
Yep.
I'm happy to do so. I'm glad to see this team working well. I'm glad to see this duo functioning and being as entertaining as they have been all
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Um, all of their big men, we've talked about Gafford. I love his intensity.
Mhm.
Love his intensity on the floor. When he gets a block, he's pumping, he's, flexing he's getting the crowd involved, and that's
Yeah.
amazing. You need those plays, especially if you're at home, you're amping the
Mhm.
crowd up, they're getting loud, or if you're in Boston, you're shutting them up. You're
Yep.
like, "Yeah, there we go. This is how we handle business," and that's amazing.
Mhm.
PJ has been great. He's been dude, the way he was shooting against the Thunder, I mean, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
Obviously, he has that in this game, but he was hitting at a clip of, what
He
felt
was
like 100%.
he was their leading scorer for 1 or 2 games. Like,
Yeah,
it was
he
just
was amazing.
ridiculous. Mhm.
Um, and rookie Derek Lively, we talked about him last year when we were covering the pre-draft that he was one of our guys of
Yep.
like we are all in, and this is why. Um, he just does everything so well. Like
Yep.
one of the highest plus minuses, especially for a kid as young as he is, I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Uh, and going through what he's going through with loss in his family,
Yeah.
sending nothing but love his way. It's been amazing to root for the kid. He seems to be a
Mhm.
very good person, and he is a hell of a basketball player going through things that, while working, are like highly difficult. So, gotta
100%.
give gotta give props. I remember us talking about it last year. There was a Twitter post that blew up around Derek Lively, where they had posted his Duke stats, and it was like 4 points a game, 2 rebounds a game, a block per game. And it got like some pretty solid momentum. And people were like, oh, who are we even drafting anymore? What are we even doing? Dude, you draft off of traits, not college stats. Otherwise, Zach Edey would be the consensus #1 overall pick. There wouldn't even be a debate.
Yeah.
I it's That's a whole separate thing, but it's just
Yeah.
so annoying. And so seeing Derek Lively do this now, that tweet is stuck in my mind for a year, and it makes me happy every time he balls out because I'm like, yeah, you guys are idiots.
100%. Not missing a shot in the
Yeah.
conference finals, like,
Are we serious? Like, are you
literally
kidding?
unheard of.
Yes.
Literally unheard of.
Yeah, it is.
That's one of my favorite words to say, but this time it is literally unheard of.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, their bigs have been great.
Mm-hmm.
Maxi Kleba coming back toward the end of
X
the conference
Factor.
finals,
Mm-hmm.
100%. He looked all right in his return, didn't
Yeah.
impact the game too much. He was solid on defense, but
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna need to keep hitting shots for them, sitting in the
Yeah.
corner. The guy for me that is going, if the Mavs were to win this series, I need to see something out of, is Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah. Totally
Second
fair.
second half of the season, there was a stretch of a couple weeks, might have been a month. It felt like it was a while. He was the Mavs' second best player, third
He
be like,
was ridiculous.
it was stupid. I'm not expecting that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm expecting a little bit more than, what are we at? 4.6 points a game in the playoffs.
Yeah,
We're gonna we're gonna need a little bit more. And he's his minutes have been cut a little bit,
mhm,
Derrick Jones Jr. is playing a little bit
he's been
more,
really solid.
and he's been solid. Their 3
Mhm,
bigs have been getting a little bit more minutes. They've been double bigging, whatever. Like, it's
mhm.
I need more out of Hardaway, man.
Yeah, you talk
Yeah.
about X factors, I think him and Maxey for the Mavs are those, because I know what Luka and Kyrie are gonna do. I know
Yeah.
what their 3 big men are gonna do. Derrick Jones has solidified himself as a really solid player, but, like, if Tim Hardaway can have a game where it clicks, like, it finally goes his way, that could be the difference in a game and ultimately a series.
100%.
So I think that's totally fair.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I talked about it in our previous video about the player who has the most to gain out of a title is Luca.
Yeah.
And I said it for the simple fact that if he wins this, I think you could make a real debate that he's the best player in basketball. And I don't think you'd be wrong.
Yeah.
Um, with all of that Mavericks talk out of the way, we'll shift over.
Yep.
And this game is important for a lot of reasons, or this series is important. It's obviously the finals, but more importantly, it's the Grant Williams Bowl. It's the Kyrie Irving Bowl. It's the
Yep.
Kristaps Porzingis Bowl. And
Mhm.
most importantly, it's the Dwight Powell Bowl. Lock in. Celtics legend Dwight Powell is making his return to TD
He
Garden.
When was he on the Celtics?
How many years ago was that?
I
Hold
don't
up.
remember
Let
that
me
at all.
let me see if I can pull this up. Um,
Just to fill the time while Zay's looking
yeah,
this
yeah.
up,
Yeah. It's really important I find this.
it's this is kind of a little side piece, this little intermission in the vid. What Dwight Powell used to kind of be that guy for a sec.
Yeah.
Like
He
he was a starter, like he was playing.
yeah.
Now he's just like the vet voice and the I don't know, man. Um,
Dude, I am I am disgusted in myself. I remember the Dwight Powell thing. Guess how many games he played in Boston?
4.
Holy crap. It's 5.
Wow,
He played 5 games in 2014-15. And
dude.
then and then
Pretty sure I was
has
picking my nose and
you
like
know
I
has
don't
played in
know.
Dallas ever since. Dude,
Jeez.
I wish I could remember more important things in my life the way I do. Just random BS like Dwight Powell playing 5 games for the Celtics. But yeah, anyways,
I
this
love
game
it.
will yeah, well, I guess we'll get back to ball talk now, but
Back to the video.
I find that pretty funny. The Celtics 12-2 through the postseason,
Yep.
really just dominant. Uh didn't have Porzingis through the second or third round. Didn't skip a beat, 8-1 without him.
Mhm.
And then you have their 2 losses. One of them is game 2 in round 1 against Miami. And the Heat shot a franchise record in threes. Lost that one. I mean, the Heat were going to beat anyone with
Yep.
that performance. It was incredible. And
Yep.
then the Cavs had a similar game against the Celtics where they just shot the lights out and then that was it. So
Mhm.
Celtics have coasted, but they've taken care of business. You can only play the teams in front of you. You don't control the health of other teams or who beats who. And that's why they are where they are.
That's what I keep hearing is, "Oh, it was a cakewalk." Oh, it's still a playoffs. It's still the best players in the world. I wish as a fan, I could have seen the opposing team's best players
Of
play against our
course.
best players. I want
Duh.
it to be that way. It's sports,
It didn't
man.
happen.
We shouldn't we're wasting breath talking about it.
And we talk about this in every sport, but especially basketball because it's 7-game series. You say the same for hockey or, baseball, multi-game series.
Yeah,
The better team is often the healthier team. That isn't new to this year.
it's
That has
unfortunate. Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Injuries are a part of the game. Giannis not being able to play a single playoff game sucks.
Yep,
That drastically changes the Bucks season.
yep.
The Knicks being a, basically a doctor's facility, like every single person was hurt or
An
playing banged
ailment.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no one, not a single player was 100%. Everyone was dealing with something.
Yep.
Even the Celtics. Like, I think that's part of the annoying thing too is like Boston hasn't had Kristaps.
Yeah.
It's not like they've been playing 100% beating up on these teams that are missing, 3 or 4 guys. Like,
Yeah.
I understand if you want to bring it into the conversation as a small note, that's fine. They have had an
Mm.
easier path than most.
Yeah.
They don't control that. Like, the people who are like, the Kendrick Perkins clip where he's like, I haven't seen the Celtics sweep a team. They haven't looked dominant enough. And Shannon Sharp was like, yeah, they just did yesterday against Indiana. And he was like, yeah, but it's not enough. Okay.
What is
So,
then?
what, yeah, like, I'm serious. What is enough? What more are they supposed to do? Go 12-0?
Yeah.
That's unrealistic of any team
Mm-hmm.
ever. Even the Warriors, right? They lost a game when they had Durant in Golden State. So it's
Yeah.
like, it happens.
Yep.
But this Celtics team has been amazing. They've beat teams with an array of players. And I've got to give props off rip to Jaylen Brown for how amazing he has played this whole postseason.
54.1% from the field through 3 rounds, 14 games. That's gross, dude.
Yes,
That is like doing that over a 14 game stretch is insane.
insane.
Yeah.
He's just been amazing. 23 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 3.6 assists. He's just been incredible. And
Mm-hmm.
then Jason Tatum, quietly 26 points, 10.4 rebounds,
Yeah.
and 5.9 assists.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're giving your team over 25 a game while being double digits in rebounds, which is especially important with Porzingis out of the
Yep.
lineup.
Yep.
And almost 6 dimes a game, which I believe leads his team.
Wow.
So, leading his
Yeah.
team in points, boards, and assists going into the finals,
Yep.
people want to continue to slander him, and it's like, these are very solid numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Sorry, he's not putting up 30, 40 every game. He's shooting 29% from 3. That's got it.
it's not
That
great.
cannot happen.
Yeah,
That cannot happen. There's definitely flaws, but based off of what you've said and the stats that you've provided, I feel like that's a pretty dang good playoff run for most players in the
yeah,
NBA, most stars. I feel like that'd be pretty acceptable.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like Luca isn't putting up 30 a game through the postseason. I didn't bring that up once. I don't care. That doesn't matter to me. Like
Mhm.
that doesn't sway anything. But their duo putting up 26 or 51 points per game combined, which
Yeah.
is solid. That is a great foundation. Luca and Kyrie are putting up a similar one. That's
Mhm.
the bedrock of your scoring is your
Yeah.
duo both stepping up game in, game out every night.
Mhm.
Um, and then Derek White, what more needs to be said? That first
Yep.
round against the Heat, he was the best player in the series.
That D'Angelo Russell clip has aged like fine wine. I want to be like Derek White. That's who I want to be like. And people are like, "Huh? What? Derek White?"
This is why.
It is like legitimately in that first round I think was our best player.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm being dead serious. And again, JB was solid. Tatum was
mhm.
solid. Derek was incredible.
Mhm.
And I think that is what, I say it every video in the playoffs. The team that can win a title is a team that can beat you in a multitude of ways with
Yep.
different lineups, with different players, with, different guys stepping up in clutch times. And both these teams have that. That's why they're in the finals. Derek White for Boston is the embodiment of that because he does all of the little things for you.
100%.
Um,
Uh,
Go ahead.
I think one of the key things in this series, obviously, who's guarding Luka? Who's guarding Kyrie? If it's me, I think you got to start Holiday on Luka game 1.
Yeah.
But personally, non-biased, this could be skewed because they've been deeper and I've been watching them more and whatever. I think the Celtics have the best guards that defensively can like work around screens and block
Mhm.
shots, and it's in the pudding. Derek White blocks so many jump shots that should not be like they're good shots, should be open shot, and he gets a hand on it somehow, some way. He
Mhm.
fights around the screen. They don't see him, and it's I've never really seen 2 guards do it as well as Holiday and White have this season, and
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a big factor because you can't stop Luka, you can't slow down Luka, I don't think. You
No.
can you can't really block his shot either because he's gonna hit a step back or he's gonna but I think these 2 guys are gonna give him the toughest challenges at getting his shot so far that we've
Yeah.
seen.
I agree with you. I think
Yeah.
personnel-wise, the
Mhm.
Celtics are very equipped. Again, you cannot stop Luka. A player that good, you can't stop. You can't
Mm-mm.
stop Jokic. You
Nope.
can't stop a dominant player from dominating. That's why they are a top 5, top 3 player in the NBA. And Luka at this point is undeniably that. But they have the personnel to make things really tricky. And
Yeah.
the Celtics are a team that they don't blitz you.
Mhm.
That's not a part of their defensive strategy with Joe Mazzulla. They don't do that
Yeah.
because they have 5 defenders out there at all times who are equipped. Hey, we got to switch. We'll be okay. Hey, the worst defender in their starting lineup is going to be able to like hold his own against anyone.
Like, it'd
And
probably be depending on the lineup. Oh, Kristaps would be I never mind. I was gonna say it'd probably
I,
be like Al Horford, and that's still
yeah, and
that I'm fine with that.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
they are just so well equipped to handle what you have defensively. That does not mean that they'll hold Luka at under 20. That won't
Mhm.
happen.
Yeah.
Like the only way that'll happen is if Luka holds himself to
Yep.
under 20 because
Yep.
you can't slow someone like that down.
Yep.
Um, but they're equipped. Drew Holiday, you saw it in that Indiana series, and you know, talking about Holiday, what has been really cool for the Celtics is his scoring. He's been able to put up 14, 15 a game, and that is massive because he's not a guy you need that from. So when you get that from him, it's like, "Oh, damn. That's a really nice 15 points for our team that we assumed was going to be made up by Porzingis and White and Horford and Tatum and Brown."
Yeah.
Like I don't know how many he puts up this series. I'd guess around 13, 14. And that's the number I think if I'm the Celtics, I want to get him to.
Thank you for bringing that up because I couldn't agree more. Like, obviously, a lot of the defensive focus is going to be on Tatum and
Yeah.
Brown. And now with Kristaps coming back, they're going to be worried about that and lob threats and whatever. Drew Holiday can sit in that corner, hit a couple threes, get him thinking about the 3, drive in, and the
Mhm.
tough lay and one like he's been doing. We've seen it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a tough one for the Mavs to overcome.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And he's just the ultimate player. His stats tell you nothing about him because
Yeah.
he does everything so well. There is a reason he's one of the most respected players in the league, and you see that by
Mhm.
him making the Olympic team.
Yep.
It's like
Doesn't take a
this
play off, both ends.
ever, and
Mhm.
he's an amazing teammate.
Yeah.
Everyone only has positive things to say about him. When the Bucks traded him, there is a reason so many teams were like, "Oh my goodness, now's our chance. We've got to get Drew
Yeah.
Holiday on our team." There's a
Yeah.
reason Miami wanted him. There's a reason Boston traded to beat those teams out was because they're like, "We have to have him."
Yeah.
Like, he's that talented, and, there is a little bit of irony, especially if the Celtics do win this, to the Bucks being the team that provided that.
Yeah.
Quick side note, I talked earlier about biggest winners being, PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. The biggest loser is the Brooklyn Nets, who essentially funded both of these teams to be built.
Yeah.
Kyrie for the Mavs, and the Celtics used the picks from the Garnett Pierce trade to get Tatum and to get Brown. And that's
That is so crazy.
tough.
The Nets timeline, yeah, that's brutal.
Like, you
That is
funded
so
both
brutal.
teams to be where they are, and
Yeah.
that's a difficult one to see.
Something I just thought of looking at stats, rosters, things. This isn't the first time because we had Kyrie after
Mm-hmm.
he'd won a ring with Cleveland. But Drew Holiday in the locker room as a champion
Yes.
for these guys who haven't won yet, being that voice, being
Yeah.
that wisdom, I think is going to be huge this series. And
Yeah.
there's going to be wins, there's going to be losses. I'm excited to see all the chess pieces, all the what's going on behind the
Mm-hmm.
scenes. What are the guys talking about? How is emotions? I just cannot wait because
Yeah.
this Celtics have been here. We've been knocking on the door. But like many of the players and media have been saying, this is a different team.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a different team for a lot of reasons. The head
Yeah.
coach is different.
Yep.
There's no Marcus, there's no Robert Williams, there's no Grant Williams. Like, it's different on almost all fronts.
Yeah.
Besides, there's 2 all-stars and Dwight.
Yep.
Everything else is basically shaken
Al.
up.
Yeah.
Al, yes, absolutely.
Yep.
I think it's really, the discourse around the Celtics has been really weird. It's just like, they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't.
Yeah.
And I will be the first to tell you they have significantly more pressure. That's a fact. Because you have
100%.
been there before.
Yep.
You were there in 2022 against the Warriors and you lost, and that's fine. You got the experience. You were the younger team. You were going against a team whose nucleus had won multiple rings together. They knew what it
Mm-hmm.
took. You
Mm-hmm.
lost to them. But now it's time. You are the
Yep.
favorites. The Celtics should win this. And I don't think Luka should get pushed back because of it. I think he's in a similar spot to where Tatum was 2 years ago, where it's like,
Yeah.
Luka is fully capable of getting back here again.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time he's here, he will have the pressure on him.
Yep.
But it's the way that analysts talk about the Celtics is so bizarre to me.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. It's, I guess, a part of it. You gotta have clicks, so
Yep.
you gotta, find ways to do that.
Yeah.
The thing I wanted to ask you,
Okay.
because I've kind of been picking my brain on this. The best player in this series is Luka. Okay, so we both agree on that.
Yep.
Number 2, I would say, is Tatum, even
Has
though
to be Tatum.
Jalen has been, you could argue, the better player this playoffs. I would still say Tatum.
Yep.
Number 3, do you go JB or Kyrie?
Jaylen Brown.
I think so too.
Especially this playoffs.
Yes.
You asked me this last year. I'm probably saying Kyrie, even though he
Mhm.
wasn't even there.
Yeah.
But like, let's just say they were hypothetical. I would have probably went Kyrie. But this season, right now, this moment, finals in a couple days, Jaylen Brown is the third best player.
I agree with you too. And then
People saying
4 is
Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Yeah, people saying Kyrie 3, I
I'm
can't get mad.
no.
I gotta respect it, but, like, the people are like, "Oh, it's Luka, Kyrie 1, 2,
That
no doubt,
that is the thing I saw was, "Oh, well, the Mavs have the 2 best players in the
2
series."
best."
I was like, I don't no.
I
If
don't
you say they
yeah,
have 2 of the top 3, I would disagree. Obviously, I have JB at 3, but I wouldn't get mad. I
yeah,
wouldn't care. Um, but then is where it gets interesting after that, because 5, if healthy and if playing 100% is Porzingis to me,
should be, yep, KP.
should be. At 6, I'd go Derek White just because of what he can bring you offensively.
Mhm.
Number 7, is it Drew
Drew
Holiday?
Holiday,
And
is
then
it?
8 is where you can debate, "Hey, I'd put Derek Lively." That's fine. But I'm just saying that I think 2 of the top 4 players are split. You got
Yep,
2 superstars, both ends.
yep,
But the 5th best guy is probably a Celtic. The 6th best guy is probably a Celtic. The 7th best guy is probably a Celtic. And the 8th best guy is either Derek Lively or Al Horford. I It's a toss. I probably go Derek,
yeah,
but you can make the case. And I think that's the difference in this is,
mhm,
yes, top end wise, they're pretty even.
yep,
And if you want to give a slight edge to Dallas, that's fine. But the other guys, I would lean Boston.
yeah,
And I think that's kind of where when you have to nitpick because these teams are so good,
yep,
where it kind of ultimately lands.
for sure.
Um, would you say Derek Lively is their 3rd best player? Which is insane to say, but, like, I'd say it's either him or
I
PJ.
think I personally have PJ,
Yeah,
personally, but it's close, it's
I
close.
I just think going back to Derek Lively, the fact that he's arguably the 3rd best player on a
It
finals team as a rookie, as what is he even 20?
I don't know.
Let's see. He is
And for yeah, it's at what he is
20.
doing is amazing. That is amazing
Turned 20 in February.
to be going through everything he's going through, dealing with the stresses, the emotions. Every game is a full drain. It and the days after, it's I could not imagine
I can't.
what he's going through and how he's able to be performing
Yeah.
this well. So it's nothing but props.
Yeah. I think it's just crazy that you can even say and argue he's the 3rd best player on a
Yeah,
team where the top 2 are Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic.
yeah.
That's
That's just how
amazing.
well they've been playing, dude. It's crazy.
It is. I
Mhm.
giving those 2 the big men to that you said at the beginning of this are lob threats,
Yep.
but you can roll them in the pick and roll. You can do pick and pop. You can do pick and pop. Like everything they do is so flexible. Derrick
Yeah.
Jones is a freak athlete. You want to talk about lob threat? He's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
no, they have 4, 5. Like, Josh Green can get up too. Kyrie on the fast break, they might
Yeah.
caught like
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
It's an amazing makeup.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like in terms of analysis, I'm pretty solid, which means it's time.
I'm ready to predict.
Game by game predictions. Mo and I are gonna go game by game and end up picking our champion from that. The series will kick off. Holy crap! Kick off on Thursday, June. What is that? The 6th, right? 6th.
Yes, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, yes, I started
Okay.
lagging out.
No, you're good. You're good. June 6th,
Yep,
game 1 in
this
TD
Thursday.
Garden.
Oh, man.
Who do you have winning game 1?
My mind's telling me no. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Um,
Oh, you're good. Dude, Dallas is plus 200. Celtics are
Bro,
6.5-point favorites. Just for any bettors out there.
I think the Celtics. Okay, here's where I'm at with my predictions. I think it's split on the way back to Dallas.
I think so too.
Do I think the game 2 bug comes back? That's what I'm leaning towards. I think the Celtics are going to come out game 1, get it done. That's what
I agree.
I'm going to say it with my chest. Celtics game 1, come out, get a win. I don't know about the spread, 6 in the final. That's a little much. Personally, I hope so, because if it's a 1-2 possession game with a minute to go, I'm in shambles because they have Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving just waiting right here to strap a 3 and bring it within 1. But I think the Celtics come out and win game 1.
I think so too. I think they set the tone. TD Garden is going to be electric.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just going to come out swinging. They're going to handle business. And then game 2 in TD Garden as well. I agree. I think it's 1-1. So I have the Celtics losing game 2, going into Dallas, a tied series. Game 3. That will be the 12th. Who do you have in that one?
Dude, I think I have the Mavs winning game 3 going up 2-1.
Quick note, Celtics are undefeated on the road.
Really?
Yeah. Because
I
their
see
only 2
that
losses were in
ending.
Boston.
I see that's so great. I see that ending. I think they lose on the road. I might have this flip-flopped, but I have Mavs taking game 3.
I have the Celtics in game 3. I've got them going up 2-1. And then game 4, I have them losing and it being 2-2.
We flipped. I'll have Celtics winning game 4, going back to Boston 2-2.
Which
Some
means
energy.
game 5
Pivotal game 5.
could decide the series.
Pivotal game 5. Again, similar to game 1. Garden rocking, knowing the season's on the line.
Yeah.
I think the Celtics come out with a huge victory in game 5.
I do too. Puts them up 3-2 in the series.
Yep.
Game 6 in Dallas. Opportunity to close it out on their opponent's floor. Drum roll. I think they get it done.
After experiencing brutal defeat at the hands of the Golden State Warriors on their home floor, they right their wrongs.
Great point.
In Dallas, game 6, coming back down 2-1 in my prediction, winning 3 straight to close it out.
Yeah, I think season 6 is what I'd have to. But again, that is not to discount anything Dallas has done or can do. This is a very, very, very dangerous team. Very talented, lots of star power, the role players to back it up. But ultimately, this is a make or break here for Boston.
100%. Like you said, not to take away from Dallas. As a basketball fan, I hope this goes 7. As a Celtics fan, I hope it's over in 3.
Yeah, it was speed run.
But yeah, this finals, all the storylines, coaches, returning players, I can't wait.
I can't wait, man. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to see Joe Mazzulla and Jason Kidd face off as coaches. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but it's just kind of ironic. They're both kind of oddballs in their
Yeah.
own way. But
Yep.
I will say the Joe Mazzulla line about Kyrie being a villain, and he said we're all a villain in somebody's eyes.
That's my coach, bro.
My God, man.
That's my coach.
He said, well, we're all a villain in somebody's eyes, and that's very true. Kyrie is definitely the villain in Celtics fans' eyes,
Yep.
in TD Garden specifically. Mo and I had this talk. We're both Celtics fans, but I'd said I think kind of the booing Kyrie at this point, like because we were still doing it this season, it's a little tacky. For to me personally, like I'm
Yeah.
over it. We've had success without him. He failed without us in the years before this one. There's not really like anything to boo anymore. And if
Yeah.
I could do it over again, I'd have him leave again. So I don't know. However, I want you booing every player that touches the ball, especially a player that lied to the fan base he's playing against and said he'd come back. So
Yeah.
finals is different. Playoffs is different. Boo everyone.
Everybody.
Everyone. But especially a guy who you have some, it's your ex, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, nah, I don't want my ex to win. I want
Mhm.
to beat them in this game. Come on. And that's what Kyrie compared the Celtics to. He's like, it's like the annoying ex-girlfriend, dude. Won't leave
That's
you
so
alone.
That's so crazy.
It's like, hey, that's how he feels about you. You got to feel that way about him.
Yep.
Going to be an amazing series. Cannot wait to watch it. Gonna be special hoops. Let us know who you have in the comments below.
Yep.
And of course, we gotta end the pod with song of the pod. What do you got?
To get the spirits going,
Mm.
one of my favorite bands, actually not one of, my favorite band
Oh,
ever, the Red Hot Chili
I
Peppers.
knew it. I knew it.
We Believe
Mm-hmm.
from Stadium Arcadium, one of my favorite
Mm-hmm.
albums. Got the CD, the 2-side, because that thing is
Mm-hmm.
like 26 songs. It's fat. It's fat.
Yep.
It's a fat 2 tape, but I love it.
Yep.
We Believe. Get us going.
Amazing pick.
Thank
I
you.
have
Thank you.
Stand Tall by Childish Gambino. Arguably my favorite Gambino song ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just so beautiful.
OG
Everything I love
too.
about him. Yes. Everything I
Yeah.
love about Gambino as an artist is in that song. And
Yep.
I listened to the Awaken My Love today at work, and I just anytime I hear it, I've got it on vinyl over there, but anytime I hear it, I just am like, wow, this is one of my favorite records ever. It's my favorite
Yeah.
Gambino album. But
Mm.
yes, bro, like
Oh!
come on,
I
gang.
might, yeah, listen, I gotta tap into that album again.
Back to Red Hot Chili Peppers real
Yep.
quick. Did you've seen that like Ken Carson was opening for them?
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
I
That
love
is
the
my
clips of
dream
the
show.
crowd. No,
That's my
serious.
dream.
No, that's like made for you.
That was, dude, I wish dude, where was that?
I
Literally,
don't know.
where was that?
I have no clue. I have no clue how long he was with them,
Yeah.
but I when they would turn to the crowd because predominantly the Red Hot Chili Peppers fan base, you can assume. But when it cuts to
Older.
Yes, Ken Carson, and then this older, primarily white crowd of people. Oh my, it is hilarious. But shout out Ken, shout out the Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Goats. 2
shout
goats.
out Gambino, just
3 goats.
everyone. Yeah, we'll get a
3-headed.
new Gambino record this summer. Looking forward to that. So we've got some music to get to.
Yup.
Can't wait, baby. Can't wait for these finals. Let us know who you got. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate y'all again. Thank you for a year.
So much.
and we will catch y'all in the next video.
Later, everybody.
Later.